Okay, this is the imperishable Sammy Zenith, and today I'm going to be making a rant/review of Toy Story 4, which came out last year. Alright, so before we freaking get into that, I know that I said I wouldn't make any more rants because it would be like regressing, you know, but the thing with that is, it's not my fault that freaking bad movies keep on getting made by corporate entities, giant corporate entities like Disney, who just go around munching everything in their path, you know. Oh, what's this? Lucasfilms? Oh, what's this? Marvel? Oh, what's this? Fox? Alright? I just have to freaking speak my mind about this, okay? So that's why I'm making another freaking rant. It's not because, you know, it's entertainment. Alright, no! So, let's just get into this, alright? How can I describe this freaking movie in one freaking sentence? It's like the freaking, I would call it the freaking Dragon Ball GT of Toy Story. And what do we know about Dragon Ball GT? What we know about Dragon Ball GT is that Goku is the main course. He's the only one who can, you know, get the job done. He's the only one who really matters in the story. Alright? It's the Goku show. Everybody else is just, you know, extra. It's just extra seasoning, right? Goku's the main course. It's the same freaking thing with Toy Story 4, alright? You have Woody. Woody's the main course. And all his friends that have been there for him since the beginning, you know, Buzz, Jesse, you know, all his freaking friends are just, you know, extra, alright? You know, nobody really cares about them, right? It sucks! Alright? And, just to reinforce the idea of it being like the Dragon Ball GT of Toy Story 4 a bit more, so, yeah, Forky, right? He's like a new main character to the story, right? So, he's like Pan. He's like the equivalent of Pan in this freaking movie, because he's always getting the freaking trouble. He's just causing, you know, he's just like a damsel in distress. He's just causing Woody more trouble than he's worth. Like, just freaking, you know, stay out of it. Why do you even have to be, like, tagging along? Like, it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Alright, he's a terrible new character. It's just ridiculous how he gets more focus than characters like Buzz Lightyear, okay? Because remember Toy Story 2, how Buzz had an awesome cinematic intro? Well, he doesn't get that in this freaking movie. Nobody does. Alright, what's so awesome about Forky? Literally nothing. Literally nothing. And I'll get more into that. But it just freaking sucks. Alright, and this is something that matters to me, because you may just think I'm, you know, just pretending like, he's not like a real, you know, fan of all these other characters. Okay, guess what I did on my freaking first day of kindergarten? Alright, I was dressed as Buzz Lightyear to the bus stop. So this is something that freaking matters to me. You can't tell me that's not! So, let's just move on. Let's move on, okay? So, let's talk about how they freaking incorporate politics into this movie. Politics into a freaking kid's movie! So unnecessary. Just keep politics and movies separate, Disney. Is it really that hard? God! But yeah, no, they felt the need to put feminism into it because they have to empower the little girls. Like, why? Why is it necessary? Why can't we all just enjoy a movie together? they took Bo Peep, this character from Toy Story 1 and 2, who pretty much had no personality other than being Woody's love interest, and they felt the need to amplify her into a freaking feminist icon. Oh, and guess what? She's a strong, independent woman now who doesn't need no kid. Yeah? Yeah? Does that sound good to you? Oh, and she can climb now? Ooh, she can climb. And she can do flips. Yeah, isn't that great? Like, what? Like, why did you feel the need to freaking ruin Toy Story 3's ending just to bring her back? I mean, you have these freaking butt-kissing fanboys who will act like, they just love everything Disney does. Like, oh, a Toy Story 4 was so necessary. Thank you, Disney. Oh, thank you. Forget Toy Story 3 being the definitive conclusion to the series. No, it has to be Toy Story 4. Frick you! This series should have been over with the third one. This movie is non-canon. I do not consider it canon. Alright, I don't care what the frick anyone says. Like, oh, there is no canon. Alright? Everything is canon when it comes to Toy Story. Frick off! Alright, last time I checked, it's up to the freaking interpretation of the fan. Alright? Toy Story 3 is the real conclusion in my mind. And what the frick are you gonna do about that? What are you gonna do about that? Moving on. So let's talk about how they changed Andy's design for no freaking reason. Like, oh, the internet calls it a glow up. Like, he's a freaking kid. He's a freaking, 9-year-old kid or whatever? Like, why the frick are you guys calling that a freaking glow-up? That's freaking creepy as frick! It doesn't make any freaking sense to call it that. It's just a freaking unnecessary change because Disney's trying to prove a point like, oh, look at how much better we've gotten with our freaking animation. It's not good animation because you freaking make him look like absolutely nothing. Like how he did in the original movies, and even just the previous one. This Andy looks nothing like the freaking one from Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3. This is a completely different kid. Like, does Woody have freaking amnesia or something? Honestly. Does he have freaking Alzheimer's? I mean, I guess he was born in the 1950s, so it's not out of the realm of freaking possibility. So, yeah, that freaking sucks. Alright, the character designs in this freaking movie suck. And that's really freaking important when it comes to a movie. Really anything, but especially a movie. Let's talk about freaking Bonnie. Alright, the new kid who was introduced in Toy Story 3, they completely ruined her freaking character. Alright, she freaking stops caring about Woody for no reason. Like, why the frick do you just freaking decide this toy that you really liked in the third movie, and Andy even said, oh, take special care of this toy, you just decide to freaking toss him aside. Just randomly decide to stop caring about him just for the sake of the plot. What the frick? It's just freaking bad writing. It's just bad writing. That's what it is. Alright, and speaking of bad writing, alright, you have the freaking antagonist of this movie. You have freaking, Gabby. Alright, first of all, what the freak kind of a name is that? Whatever. Second, I'm just gonna call her Gabby. Second, freaking, she's not even like a real villain. In the previous movies, they did a good job of, establishing villains to be like, unlikable. You got Sid, you've got crap, what's his name? The Prospector, Stinky Pete. You've got Lotso. Like, they did a good job of making those characters actually freaking unlikable in the end. But no, then you have Gabby, who was, you know, supposed to be a bit creepy at first. But oh, guess what? She's just misunderstood. So this movie has no real freaking villain. There's no freaking tension. Ugh. No tension. No freaking tension at all. What kind of a movie is that? Alright, I can't believe people even freaking compare this to Toy Story 3. It's not even on the same level. Get out of the way, chair. Freaking blocking the camera. It's not even on the same freaking level. Alright? Where's my freaking Piccolo? I freaking dropped it, man. Frick. It's not even the same level at all. So, and then you have her, you know, her henchman, Benson, and, you know, there are apparently a bunch of clones of him too, but it's just a freaking rip-off of freaking Goosebumps. Why are you freaking ripping off of Goosebumps, Disney? Alright, it's a freaking smaller franchise than you, and Goosebumps freaking sucks. Alright, R.L. Stein is a freaking joke. I used to read those books when I was a kid, and you know, obviously, like, back then, you know, I couldn't really form, like, good opinions on anything. So, of course, I liked it back then. But now, you know, after seeing those books for what they really are, which is freaking garbage, like, you know, like what? Why are you even freaking ripping off of it in the first place? Alright, they literally just copied his freaking design. They didn't even bother to freaking change it. Nobody freaking points it out at all. You know, they'll just make freaking little Goosebumps jokes. Like, it just doesn't even matter, I guess, that they freaking copied the design. Like, R.L. Stein doesn't even freaking care. He didn't even freaking sue them. Probably because he knows his franchise freaking sucks. And those live-action Goosebumps movies freaking suck too. Alright, you know, they made Goosebumps and then Goosebumps 2, which is direct-to-DVD. So it really shows you how, that really goes to show you how much people actually freaking care about it. You know? And let's just move on, okay? Like, I don't even know how the frick they got away with ripping off of it like that. But let's move on to freaking Bunny and Ducky, these new side characters who are even more useless than Jar Jar Binks and Rose Tico. They're so freaking annoying. They're so freaking annoying. They're so freaking loud. You think I'm freaking loud? Like, every moment in the movie where they are in it is just so consistently freaking loud. Alright, I'm so tired of, like, these comic relief characters who really add nothing. They're just completely useless. Alright, you see that all the time in these freaking kid movies, and that's what freaking turns adult viewers like me away from it. You know, Olaf is another good freaking example of that. Which is why I didn't even freaking bother seeing Frozen 2. Frick that. You know, I didn't even bother watching on Disney Plus. Alright, I stopped renewing my Disney Plus subscription because Mandalorian Season 1 is freaking over. So what's the point? What the freak is the point? Alright, literally the only funny part of the movie was Duke Kaboom. I genuinely thought that was funny. Aside from that freaking part, everything else freaking didn't even make me laugh. It made me cringe. Alright, the best way I can sum up this movie is that it's just another freaking cash grab. Alright, it's just another worthless cash in. Alright, Disney got their billions off of this movie. Yeah. That's all they wanted. Alright? This movie has literally no heart went into this movie, no creativity whatsoever. It's just a pointless continuation. Didn't even need to be made. It's just a side story. It's not even canon. And if you have a problem with me applying that freaking term to a movie series, guess what? I don't give a frick. Because to me, this is a freaking disgrace to Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3. These movies that were freaking these movies I freaking watched my formative years. And then you have freaking Toy Story 4. Alright, it's not even for the same generation anymore. Alright, these kids watching this movie didn't even freaking grow up with the originals like I did. It's just freaking stupid, man. Alright, Pixar just needs to come up with new ideas and stop freaking and stop freaking, you know, like making unnecessary sequels. Like, why the frick is there a freaking Cars trilogy and 2 freaking horrible Cars spin-offs? How the frick is that a thing? But there's no Bugs Life 2! Frick! Freaking pisses me off. Alright, this movie gets a freaking negative 60 out of 10. Alright, negative 60 out of 10 for this freaking crap. Alright, if you're lucky enough to not go see this movie, just don't even freaking bother. Alright, I went to see this movie with my family. That's literally the only thing that made it freaking worth it. Alright? So, that's the end of this freaking video. That was my freaking rant on this movie. This movie genuinely pisses me off. So, frick it. I'm done. Frick you, Disney. Stop ruining things. Alright? There's so much crap I can talk about with Disney, but I'm just not even going to delve into it all. Alright? This movie's just a cash-in. They even made a freaking short film about Bo Peep on freaking Disney Plus. So freaking boring. What a snore fest. Who the frick cares what she did during that time skip? You know, who the frick cares? I'm done. Frick you, Disney.